Hello everyone, welcome back to Imperium. This is the ninth lecture of the DBMS course, and in this lecture, we will be studying the group by statement, the having statement, the exist statement, which is used with where clause, and the any all statement, which is also used with the where clause. So, firstly, I have created a database. It's named practice. Just run it. So remember that every time you open the workbench, you have to run the specific database that you are performing the queries in. So if I just went in this SQL file number 7, I would have to run this database because these tables that I have created are in the database Garvit, whereas these tables are created in the database practice. So remember to do that to mitigate any errors. Now there is group by. So what is group by and why is it used? So group by is a statement that groups rows that have the same values into summary rows. Like let's say find the number of customers in each country. So if you can see that there is this Germany, this Mexico, Sweden. If there are multiple customers, if there are multiple inputs of the same country, it will just put them together and show their count. So like let's say if I print count and country, it will show count as the number of times the country has been like used in the insert, and it will just tell which country and how many counts it has been repeated for different customers or let's say orders, etc. So this is the table. This is customers table. I have put auto increment. That's why there is no numbers here. The first should be like 1, 2, 3, or like anything you want. Because I have put auto increment, there is not that input of the integers showing there. Now I'll just run this code. This is group by country. So we have select count of customer ID, that is count the customer ID and comma country from customers to where group by country. So it will group by the country. If you put group by customer, it can also do that. Let's we, it is used in orders table, like orders and supplier table, where supplier is common for multiple other people. So like let's say if we take Zomato, so Zomato is a supplier and we the users are different like people who are ordering food from the same supplier. So it can also use that like supplier count, or it can use how many times a same supplier has been used by different users. So it's not just for countries. Group by is used for many different tasks. So now if we run this code, we can see that the customer count for Germany, it is only one. So there is only one customer from Germany. For Mexico there is two, UK is one, and Sweden is one. As you can see here, Mexico has come once, and here it has come again, and for other three inputs it is only once. So that's why they are 1 1 and Mexico is 2. So now here it's the same query, just I have ordered it like order by count of customer ID, and DESC stands for descending. So we should get this output. So you can see descending by count. That's why count to descending means highest to lowest. So that's why 2 then 1 1 1. If you put ascending there, it would be it's the same. Like Mexico should come at the last and the three inputs would go up. So like if I just put ASC here, it's ASC. If I run this, you can see that Mexico is the bottom because of the count of the customers. So that is lowest from lowest to highest. Next is the having clause or the having statement. So what having does is having clause was added to SQL because the where keyword cannot be used with aggregate functions. So what are aggregate functions? We have done it. It's the average, sum, etc. Those we have done it in the previous lectures, the aggregate functions. And one like very important notice or note for having clause is that having cannot be used without group. So if you are not using the group by statement, you cannot use the having statement as well. It will throw an error. So for that, we always require the group by clause while using the having statement. So if I run this query, so it has like I'll read the query, that is select count customer ID comma country. So we are like displaying the customer count and country from customers table, and group by country same as this, and having count customer ID is greater than 5. So we want an ID that is greater than 5. It will only show for the customers ID that are greater than 5. So less than, here we only have 1 and 2. So I guess it should not show any country. As you can see, it is not showing any country. Only if I like add values in it. Let's just add, let's say we add the Mexico's value twice. I just copy this. I'll go this paste, and then so now I have inserted three values or three inputs in the same table with the country Mexico. I will do it once again because it is only 5 times and we are asking for greater than 5. So I'll run it again. So now we'll just see how many inputs are there in the table. For that we'll write select star from customers to. Now we'll see the number of inputs. As you can see this is the auto increment that I'm talking about. So 1 2 3 till 11. So there are 11 inputs, and if you count that, Mexico is come a lot of times. So now if we check, it should show us Mexico's input because it is, the count is greater than 5. So let's run this query. If I run it, you can see that country is Mexico and the count has come 8 times. That means the country Mexico has been repeating 8 times. That only if we just do it less than 5, it should show us the Germany, Sweden and UK. So because they are less than 5, it is showing that count. That is how the having works. Similar to, it is similar like where clause, just that having is used with group by, and where is not that compatible with that group by statement. So that's why. And now I have just added the order by clause in this. So this won't like work this time if we have to let it work, because we have only one country that is exceeding the limit 5, so it will only show this. I guess let's make changes. We'll do just Germany for each one. First it was only one time. Now if I run this again, now the Germany country has been repeated 4 times. If I run it again, so 4 plus 3 again 7 times. To check that, I can run this. So we can see the country Germany has been added. And if I check now, Now we can see that Germany is there 10 times and Mexico is 8 times. Think it lagged for a bit, that is like did not like see the input, it did not calculate it, that's why it showed error first. But now you can see that the German is there 10 times and Mexico is 8 times. This is how the descending, and if you put ASC in ascending, so Mexico would be top and then Germany would be below Mexico. So this was group by and having with order by. So now we will go to the next, that is the any all, any clause or all clause, and then exists clause. So I have, like as I said, when you change the file, you have to rerun the database so that you don't mix up the customers or the tables that you have created. Because if I run this table, that if I run the create table products and if I run select query here, so it won't work, because in the practice table, practice database, there is no the products table, like the one with these inputs. So this product table has a different input, and the tables, that product table present in this one, this products table is different. That's why you have to change your database when you select a new file. Now I have run this database, and then next is any and all. So any and all are the like small tags, you can say. What they do is, the any all operator allows you to perform a comparison between a single column and a range of, like a single column value and a range of other values. So like you can see that here in this query, you are comparing the product ID from the table products with multiple product IDs from the table order details. So what this query is like saying is, we are like displaying the product name from the table's product, where the product ID of the products table is equal to the any operator. And what the any operator does is, it compares, like in the any operator, this is the subquery now, this, so that select product ID from the orders detail, like order details, where quantity is 10. So there is like multiple conditions here. Firstly, the condition is the quantity where we are selecting the product ID from should be equal to 10. And then the second condition is this, like the any operator, this is the second condition, where product ID should be equal to any product ID that is from the table orders order details, where quantity is equal to 10. So we should get an output which has the same product ID, which is equal to the, which is equal to the product ID from the order details. So let's say that this product ID, I'll just cut it. Let's say its ID is 3. The 3 is the value. So this value should be equal to this value. So like there are multiple conditions in this statement. So you should like actually focus here, because these type of queries really can make, like hectic for people who are going for backend and these database queries. So what it means is, firstly, these IDs should match. Okay, what I'll just break it down for you. Let's say this is a separate query, so that is select product ID from this. So what this query does is it selects all the product IDs that have the quantity 10. Okay, that we got to the side. So what it says is, this one says that all the product IDs that have the quantity equals to 10. This is what this query does. And then what this query will do is, it will take all these product IDs, the IDs that are coming from this table or this query, and it will check with this product ID. So that, let's say if this product ID's value is 5, so let's in bracket I'll say that it is 5. Okay, the value of this ID is 5. So in all the IDs that these have given, if I just run it, it won't run. It's because it is a cut down query. Yep. So let's assume that the answer we will get would be ID number 1 or 4, then 5, 8, and 10. So these are the ID numbers that we will receive from the product ID, this query from the order details. So these all IDs have the quantity 10. Now we know that the product ID, the value of the product ID from the products table is 5. So we will compare that, is 5 equal to 1. So we have the equal to sign and any, it compares. So is 5 equal to 1? No. So it is gone. That is not correct. Is 5 equal to 4? No. Is 5 equal to 5? Yes. Then it will print that single value, that this ID is equal to 5, this ID is also equal to 5. So now I will print it. That is how the any and the or operator also works. They are very similar. So now I will just run this query. Okay, it is showing error because I think the tables. Yes, it is showing error because of this. This is like not the correct syntax. I was just telling you that let's assume the value. So I'll just remove this. And now if we run, we get the answer. So these are the product IDs that, or product name we have got. I will again tell you because it is quite complicated and people do like miss it and mismatch it is better word for it. So the answer is getting aniseed syrup. We can see this is the syrup and we can check what is the first product ID. So we'll take product ID, it is 3, that is from the table products, and order table. In the order table, product ID is here. You can see the product ID is 3. So product ID is 3 and the quantity is 10. That's why we are getting the aniseed syrup. Also, here we are getting chef Anton's seasoning, and there is the product ID 4. And if we go down, sorry, it's the fifth one, the chef Anton's gumbo mix. So it's the ID 5, and if you go down, we can see we have product ID 5. You can check it here. First, second, third is the product ID, and fourth is quantity. So if we see, third is product ID, that is 5, which also matches the product ID from the tables products, and the quantity is 10. So because both the conditions are true, we are getting these outputs. So these are called nested queries. You can use nested queries with where itself, like select star from students table where marks equal to, then select star from select marks from teachers table where subject equals to, then select subject from subject table, etc, etc. So nested queries are the one of the complicated part of the DBMS. Then this was the any query. Then all is the same. Any and all operators both are similar. Like if I run this, it will show the same output. So any and all are similar. Next we have exists. So this is one table, that suppliers table. Have some values that have inserted. And now this is easy to understand because we are like displaying the supplier name from suppliers table where exists means where it is present. That select product name from products. This is the products table. We are taking product name from products where, now this means now the first letter is the products. This means the table. Dot supplier ID means the column name. So note, this is the table name. Dot, this is the column name. Similarly, this is the table name, and after the period or dot, this is the column name. So what we are basically checking is we want the product name from products where the supplier ID from the products table is equal to the supplier ID from the suppliers table. And so we have given an additional condition, that is the price should be less than 20. So now I will run this query. We can see you have only one supplier, that is like, it's not because like only one supplier has price less than 20, but it is the only supplier which has the same ID in both the tables. Like it has the same ID in products table and the suppliers table. So that is why it was it. And you can say like, where is the supplier ID in this table? It's because I have used auto increment for the supplier ID. That's why you cannot see it. So basically it means that exotic liquid is 1, New Orleans is 2, Grand Macale is 3. So that like that, it's number wise. So that's why. Similarly, this is the query. We have just changed this part. Instead of the less than operator, we have used equal to. And if we run, you can see New Orleans is the similar because it has quantity equal to 2 and the ID match in both the table. This was the exist clause or the exist statement. I hope you have understood this. Like I have tried my best to tell you or to explain you the query itself, not the operators. Like any operator, they are easier to understand, but the queries they are used in are mostly like on the difficult side because many people struggle with nested queries. These nested queries like using select and where, like condition in condition in condition, that type of people uh, are struggling with. That's why I tried my best. I took like, I think I took 6 to 7 minutes to explain this single query only. but I thought it was important because leaving it just like that, I did not feel it right. So that was it for today. So if you have any doubt regarding to the previous lectures or this lectures, you can just comment and we will reply as soon as possible. If you have any inputs or if you have any suggestions, you can also type that in comments. We will give them a look, and if we actually like them or we think that yes, we can improve this, we will also implement them. So thank you, and this was it for today's lecture.